The Step 2 CS exam has been canceled. Can you believe it? The Step 2 CS exam has been officially canceled permanently. It's no longer an exam that you guys have to worry about. What's up, guys? My name is Dr. Safo Asante. I'm a successful IMG, successful because I matched, and I'm here so that you guys can do so as well. What is the Step 2 CS exam? The Step 2 CS exam is one of the USMLE exams that you have to take before you can apply to residency. And you take it in medical school. You have the Step 1 exam, which is a multiple choice exam. You have the Step 2 clinical knowledge exam, which is also a multiple choice exam. And then you have the Step 2 clinical skills exam, which is what we're talking about here. The Step 2 clinical skills exam is exactly what it sounds like. It's a clinical skills exam. It's an actual in-person simulation exam simulating the doctor-patient interaction, where they measure whether your ability to communicate with the patient, your ability to gather information and to interpret the information and present the information, and they also test your ability to speak good English in order to communicate. Currently, with the pandemic, they ended up putting the Step 2 CS exam, because it's an in-person exam and it can put people at risk of getting the coronavirus. They put that on hold so that they can think about a different way to restructure it in a way that it wouldn't put applicants or people that are taking the exam and also the standardized patients at risk. And they decided to do that in May of last year, 2020. And the news keeps coming. They just released January 26th that they are going to cancel the Step 2 CS exam completely. Now, they're still trying to test you on your ability to communicate with patients. They're still trying to test you on your ability to have good clinical reasoning skills. And what they're saying is that they're going to implement those things and put those things in the Step 1 exam and the Step 2 clinical knowledge exam, which are the exams that are left now. Now, you guys already know my journey with the Step 2 clinical skills exam, and it was not a fun journey. I ended up failing the Step 2 clinical skills exam once. I took it again. I ended up passing it, and that made it difficult to get into residency. And that's one of the drawbacks of having the clinical skills exam and failing the exam. I ended up having a little bit of a difficult time matching to residency. I applied once, twice, 3 times, and I got in on the 3rd time due to my persistence and my good looks. But all jokes aside, I finally made it to residency, graduated. I'm a practicing doctor now, so that's all behind me. I wouldn't change anything, at least for me, but at least for the people following, not having to take the Step 2 clinical skills exam, I think that's a good thing. In order to understand how the cancellation of the Step 2 clinical skills exam can either benefit or not benefit you guys, the applicants, you have to understand what programs use the Step 2 clinical skills exam. And I'm not talking about the fluffy answer that they have trying to get a competent and good doctor that's able to communicate well with his patients and has the clinical knowledge and blah, 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 blah. What they use it for is to help them weed out applicants. They get tons of applications. Each program gets about 4,000 to 5,000 applications, and they only have about 4 spots depending on the program. Some places even have like 1 spot. Some places have about 20 spots. But if you're thinking about 5,000 applications and you have to weed through all of them to try to find people that they're going to pick, you can understand the kind of humongous task that the programs have ahead of them in trying to select applicants. They use the Step 2 CS, whether you pass it or failed it, as a filter. If you failed your Step 2 CS exam, you automatically get filtered out for some programs, a lot of programs, and they don't even take a look at your application. And that makes it easy because they've already removed a chunk of people, and they're able to focus on the few ones that are left. Not the few, but the many that are left. Now, taking the Step 2 clinical skills exam away from them at least in my opinion, is going to force the programs to look at the rest of the application for other things that can either eliminate you or put you in good standing or put you above other people that you are applying with to the program. Which means that they will take an in-depth look at each application. Now, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Is it good because now they're taking an in-depth look into your application? Or is it bad because they're taking an in-depth look at your application, and because of that, they have to spend more time with each application, which means they might not be able to get to as many applications as they usually do, because now they have to take each application and look at it a lot deeper. I don't know, guys. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just a great thing. I don't know. But if you guys have any thoughts on the matter, leave a comment down below and let's talk about this. Now, is this a good thing for IMGs? Is this a good thing for AMGs, which are basically international medical graduates and American medical graduates? Honestly, I think it's a good thing for all applicants. One, you're saving a lot of money. When I was applying, I spent about $1,300 to pay for this exam. Then I also had to pay for travel to go to the place. And that's me living in the United States. Now, if somebody lives out of the United States, they have to pay for a plane fare, which is decently expensive. They also have to pay for room and board, which is also decently expensive. And then they have to pay for the exam. So that's $1,300 plus the flight, plus room and board for a couple of days. And if it's not one day that they're in the place for. So you save on that money. And then two, they look more in-depth into your application, which means that if they do look at your application, they get to evaluate you as a person versus as a number, versus as like a pass-fail, versus as like a red flag or not a red flag. And they might see you in a different light than they did before because they took a closer look. And three is pretty straightforward. That's one less exam for you to fail. This is good for IMGs because about 25% of IMGs ended up failing this exam for one reason or another. Not necessarily because they would make bad doctors. So now there's one less exam that's going to do that for them, which puts them in a better light and would put more applicants at play with each program. Now, after talking about the benefits, one of the things we do have to think about, what about the guys that ended up failing the Step 2 CS exam and haven't retaken it? What are they going to do? Honestly, I don't know. I would like to hear your thoughts on that down below. Is it going to be supplemented by good Step 2 clinical skills exam scores or Step 1 exam scores? Is that even going to matter because most of these applicants have already taken those exams? Is the USMLE going to stop reporting the Step 2 clinical skills exam altogether? I don't know. But I think overall the best action would be just to stop reporting the Step 2 clinical skills exam altogether. But then again, if they do that, then the people that took the Step 2 clinical skills exam already and passed it are not being treated fairly. So this I don't even know the best course of action. I can just say that if you fail the Step 2 clinical skills exam, it's difficult. It's going to be difficult. Maybe the Step 3 exam in your case is even more important. I don't know. Consult your medical school advisor, some experts on the matter, and maybe they can give you some advice on the matter. Other than that, leave your thoughts down below. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.